Online education is moving fast. You can see here, since 2000, since 2000, since the year 2000, the growth of e-learning has been 900%. So it's growing at a huge clip. Some of the e-learning companies are growing at the rate of 30% a year. But what we really need to understand is not just the growth of e-learning. Why is it growing? Because it works. It works really well. Studies show, as you can see here, that e-learning increases retention rates 25 to 60%, while the retention rates of face-to-face training are very low, 8 to 10%. Now, of course, this is training. Training's a little different from educating. This is especially when you need to develop a skill. You have to learn how to fix a flat tire or whatever it is. That is one of the situations. But even so, with e-learning, participants learn nearly 5 times more material without increasing time spent in training. So the promise is there. But to a large extent, my study shows, and I haven't done a thorough scan of the entire religion online field, but I find that to a large extent, religious organizations, spiritual organizations, are not embracing online, or they're not doing that much online as you might expect for various reasons. Some organizations, for example, say Art of Living, Ravi Shankar's organization, they don't want to put their stuff online because, number one, it doesn't really work so well what they're trying to teach, but also their financial model requires them to get face-to-face. In other fields, various Christian organizations and so on, their feeling is a little similar. How can we have transformation when we're educating people online? The online world is pretty much a mental world, whereas the spiritual world generally means that we are coming together. We're experiencing something together. That's where transformation generally takes place. Is that not true for all of us? It's associating, it's kirtan, I mean, that's our experience. So Christians and others, the Buddhists are the most ahead in this because their whole thing is mental anyways. So, you know, it fits right in. And of course, Christian universities, Christian colleges, Christian seminaries, Catholic seminaries and so on, they use online learning. But there is an opportunity here for us to see how spirituality can be taught, how transformational experiences can be engendered through online education. And what to speak of our more general needs, to be able to teach children, for example, and support them. Last year, I presented a seminar here on the good, bad, and the ugly of e-learning. And hopefully that was recorded. I think it was recorded. And I remember hearing earlier that the seminars from last year, or talks from last year, will get online. In that presentation, I talked about what were the next steps for educators in ISKCON. And we said that one of the next steps would be to create a coalition of online course developers, providers, and facilitators, to set up and start training, and to set up a course delivery platform and begin facilitating course providers. So how are we doing? Right now, I surveyed the online world. There's about 15 ISKCON entities offering online course online courses. There's 58 online courses themselves. That doesn't include 24 from the Oxford Center for Hindu Studies online, which is ISKCON devotees, but it's not exactly ISKCON. And it also doesn't include the soon-to-be-launched bhaktilearning.com. This is just a list of them, in alphabetical order, that are offering online courses. Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya, the base or Bhaktivedanta Academy for Culture and Education in Chopati, the Bhaktivedanta College is up there with 10 courses online. This, where we're sitting here right now, the Bhaktivedanta Gita Academy just last year, 2019, launched their program. Over the last 23 years, this institution here has enrolled over 18,000 people in learning the Gita through correspondence. And now they're starting to offer it online. Our own program, chantnow.com, we have about 3 courses. The Russian group that I'm going to also talk a little bit about their program, their site is club108.ru, is the kind of portal to their different courses. They have, well, I thought there were just 4, but actually I was just learned that there are 18 courses there. Of course, BhagavadGita.com is a devotee down in Brazil, I believe, Giridhari, who does a really kind of exciting course on the Bhagavad Gita. The GBC College has 8 of their courses online. Institute for Applied Spiritual Technology, based in America, they have 2 online courses right now. There's devotees in Silicon Valley who have put up something called Bhakti Roots, and they have 9 courses for new devotees. I mean, this is devotees in the congregation who are just wanting to learn the prayers and simple things like that. Over in the Manor, Krishna Wisdom, that does outreach, they've put one course online. Here, the Mayapur Institute has 2 of their courses online. As I said, Oxford Center has 24 courses. Another Russian entity called Psychology 3000 has put up a few courses. And my first experience with online education was working with my godbrother Dhruva Maharaj, who operates something called Sadhu Sangha online. They have a kind of a repository of courses, and they roll out 1 or 2 at a time. And then the Adi online educator, Sriman Sankarshan Das Adhikari, with his ultimate self-realization course, last he told me he's about 21,000 or 36,000 people have responded to his email course. Okay, so something is going on, but we haven't yet gotten all linked together in what you might call a community of practice. And I'm hoping that that's one of the things that we're going to get to. Bhakti learning, I just mentioned. And you've already heard about the Ministry of Education Instructional Design course. I mentioned Russia. Russia has gone so far as to develop their own learning management system. Everyone knows what a learning management system is? Yeah, well, he definitely knows. Okay. How do you offer a course online? The best way is to use software that manages the presentation of your courses, manages the enrollment of students, manages the progress that they take. These software tools make the whole job a lot easier. So they reviewed all the various systems out there and felt they didn't really fit their needs, so they developed their own program, and they just translated into English for us. They have over 2,500 students now enrolled in 18 courses, and it's now available to ISKCON educators as what's called a software as a service. In other words, it's owned by them. They maintain it. They keep it going. It's their system. It's not available to the whole world for free, but it is available for free to all ISKCON education initiatives. I wanted to show you a little bit of what its features is. Why did they do this? They did it especially because they wanted to be able to empower a system of education that involves mentors. They have 2,500 students, okay? How do you deal with 2,500 students? They break all the students down into small groups, and each group has a mentor. There's a mentor for 15 to 20 students. The mentors interact with those students. They watch their progress. They have a little dashboard like this, which shows their students what their assignments are, whether they finish them or not, various things like that. They have a little scorecard up here. Everything's color-coded. It's really well done. And the teachers, they see the performance of the mentors. So in this way, the teachers can oversee a large number of students by using these mentoring systems. They also built in something that is fairly unique, whereby students themselves or groups of students or the teachers can create special goals for their students that they can track online. So don't have time, and it wouldn't be appropriate to get into a full demonstration of this software, but it is a powerful piece of software, especially for that kind of content which is delivered in what is called synchronous. There's a date that it starts and there's a date that it ends, and that really benefits from facilitation. Now, if it's a self-paced course that you go through on your own, there are other tools which are perhaps better. So, fast forward. What do we want? 2020. Our proposal, talking with Srila Prabhu, is that we're going to complete a course for training in online education. We're going to develop multiple global platforms for online course delivery. The Ministry of Education will be one of those. I'm working with ISKCON.org, the Ministry of Communications, and our own organization, ISKCON Online. We're working together to launch a e-learning platform for all ISKCON members. We should be building our community of practice. Just to start with, if you know of any online education that's not in that list, let us know so we can bring everybody together into a community where we're sharing our best practices and learning together. We want to connect subject matter experts. Mahatma Prabhu has already shown how much of an expert he is in so many different relevant subjects. So to connect him with people that can help to create the e-learning experience, we want to do that for more people like him. And finally, to connect with the organizational development, ISKCON Internet Presence Planning. How many of you came, I guess it was 2 days ago, to a meeting over there? Just a few of you. Okay. ISKCON's Organizational Development Committee has committed to creating a plan to improve ISKCON's internet presence by the midterm meeting. So this is part of that. So, who's on board? If you want to be part of this, let's get together. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll take some questions for Pancharatna Prabhu. Okay.
At the beginning you addressed it to some degree, Prabhu, but I, some years back, taught Bhakti Shastri online, and I found it personally as a teacher quite dissatisfying. So, and we've heard many speakers talk about the values that we have to give to students and the culture required in ISKCON. So, I guess just I have this big doubt. The online world seems to cut the value, educational, and the cultural part of the educational process. So how do you respond and address that?
Well, this is part of why the Russian community developed their own platform, so that they could facilitate at least some personal interaction. In fact, many of the mentors in their system hold weekly meetings, physical meetings, with the students. If they can't have a physical meeting, they do it through Zoom or Skype or something, but it's live, it's face-to-face, it is a place where people do get to know each other, and you can work on those values. But I would suggest that this is a challenge as much as it is a problem. You can see it as a problem, or we can see it as a challenge. How can we do this? If we embrace online learning, our scope is every town and village. If we restrict ourselves to face-to-face learning, the opportunity is much smaller. Let's see. What can we do? What kind of people, what kind of activities can we give them that will do the work that you're talking about? Answering questions, box, reading some text, boxes on an online form or something like that, it may not have that kind of result. But maybe there's something that we get them to do that would have that result. It needs work. Yeah.
Prabhuji, I have seen ISKCON devotee courses on Karmi websites like Udemy and different, but I have seen those courses have like more popularity because they are on a international website, and even the non-devotees, they are able to get some benefits.
Yes.
So I was just thinking, because in our platform there is a limited viewership of our own people, we can use these international platforms to
Certainly.
and they also have option to give it free if you want to give
Certainly.
it free.
Udemy and Coursera and other places are possibilities. But we also have to have our own platform, because they have limitations in the course delivery systems that they have.
Hare Krishna,
Yes.
Prabhu. I'm involved in ODL environment, open distance learning. I'm a lecturer there for the past 10 years. And we have developed many things which we actually make the student felt that they can gain a lot of interaction with the coordinator or the mentor. And also one of the things that we realize is what we call open education resource. I think in our ISKCON, many people have all kind of resources, and then maybe that is overlapping. So if
Yes.
we can develop a repository where we can have a OER, open education resource.
Yeah, I would say resources and also the courses themselves. 15 different places to go for a course. Maybe there's a better way to do that. Maybe we should be more like a university with departments that run, more or less autonomously, but where the students can take advantage of the full range. So that's another challenge, I think. How do we maintain the independence and the autonomy of teachers, and at the same time give the most facility to students? Yes, Prabhu.
I had one quick response to the question on values on an online learning, and two things come to mind. One of them is that creating a community on online, like the Russian devotees want to do with their forums, and that definitely creates an atmosphere or a context for people to engage in discussion and interaction, and therefore develop responsible types of exchanges on a forum. And another one is creating what we call scenarios, and they're like a powerful means of giving 3 or 4 different options to responses to different dilemmas. So creating a dilemma and then giving responses, and as they choose a particular response, you give feedback. So yes, that's quite a reasonable response. But did you consider X, Y, and Z? And it sort of loops around in that, and that's one way that you can develop, values types of responses on e-learning. And I had one more question, if I can. No? Okay, all right. We'll speak later. It was about the how do we keep this going?
How do we keep it going? Get on board. Okay, well, that will be part of Tapan Vishwaru's leadership.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pancharatna Prabhu, for sharing us such important statistics. And also, I don't think I've ever seen that kind of analysis, even though you call it a brief analysis, anywhere in terms of what the online effort is. Thank you. And if you want to participate in it, please do contact Pancharatna Prabhu. As I shared at the ministry, we are trying to strengthen. In the morning, I shared with you several projects that we're trying to take online.